Good day, listeners from all around the world. You are listening to the Wide World of Motorsports podcast for the week of Sunday, September 5th, 2021. And what is this episode? This is... Yes, but it's the week of.
Sorry.
We're recording
Can
on the
we edit
6th.
that out, please?
No, that's all. No, I'm just rolling with the bones. But yeah, so this is like the season 4, episode 15, I believe. And we're simulcast, potentially still on Radio Waterloo. And you can check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all this stuff. Just gotta say, hey, Siri, Alexa, pull up the Wide World of Motorsports TV on my smart or your smart device. You can just tell, you can go to someone's house and just tell their Siri or Alexa. Or I like to go to Walmart and Best Buy, and on the computers, I'll just put in the Wide World of Motorsports podcast.wordpress.com, and then
I like that.
Make that their homepage. Yeah, that's good. So you can make that your homepage too, or I can do it for you. No. But yeah, so we're
do it.
Yeah, chilling here again. Labor Day weekend, we just got through here, and it was a weird weekend. Because for racing, usually for me, I'm away. It was weird. I was looking at like the clock at certain points during the weekend, and I was like, we'd be leaving to go to Bowmanville right now, or we'd be getting there, or I'd be having the photographers meeting right now. It's like, all right, about now it'd be lunch break. It'd be going to get my food from the media center. It's like I didn't do that last year when there wasn't a race. But I did that this year because there was a race.
It's funny because I did that last year when I didn't go to Mosport for IMSA.
Real okay, nice.
I did the exact same thing. Like, I'd be getting ready to go. We'd be going. We'd be staging. We'd be here. We'd just be. I wouldn't be here at work. I'd be, it's 9:30. I'd be trackside. I'd be watching the cars.
Right.
I'd be in the, you know what I mean? And this year, actually, I didn't do it. Maybe because I was so busy with work, I was distracted. But I feel your pain on that one.
Yeah, and it was like, I remember last night. It was like in between stage 1 and 2 in the Cup race, and I'm like, usually we're just getting back by now, just enough time to see like the last stage or halfway through the Southern 500, because that's usually how it's been the last few years. Sometimes we're leaving Mosport right when it's starting, and then somehow we get there and the freaking Cup race is still. That's how long that Cup race is. But
yeah, it can be that one.
So like it was just so weird. And even though like people could go there, you weren't able to buy tickets at the gate, but you're able to buy tickets online. So there was still a way to, like, I could have went, but just because of things are just different this year with outside of work commitments. But not only that, like we could have went actually. Like I could have made it happen.
Could have been there, yeah.
I don't know if that was because of the truck race. Like there was on TV, there was a good chunk of people that I saw. Like there wasn't a shortage of people there, but obviously it wasn't the same as the truck race weekend. So I'm wondering, but I've missed out there for the Victoria Day weekend, which is just Pinty's. So yeah, so I don't know why I didn't bother to go. I don't think there's probably too many reasons why, I guess. It wasn't one particular reason. It wasn't anything against the racing. It wasn't just the Pinty series. It's not worth going. That's not why. Yeah. So, but still though, with being able to watch it on tsn.ca or TSN Go, which we were discussing prior to rolling the tapes here, is this, as of this season, now you're able to watch it live instead of, you can also watch it the week later, the month later, whenever they air it on TV.
Whenever, yeah. Which doesn't make sense to me, but I'm sure there's some
reason behind it.
They'll
tell you, but
behind that.
But all I know is I can watch it live, and after a couple days they'll upload it to watch on demand through their website or whatever. So that's or they wait to upload it till the TV broadcast. One of the two. Either way, it's it shouldn't be that complicated, in my opinion.
No.
But as you said, I'm sure there's someone will tell you there's a legit reason, and I'm sure I'd understand. But as a fan, it's like I just want to see it. Damn it. But I was able to see the second race, wasn't able to see the first race, unfortunately, but missed LP winning that first race. The race number 1 at CTMP, the All-Amel Grand Prix of Ontario, which I think I think, and from what you think too, if memory serves me correctly,
Right.
from what is the first double header for the Pinty series, at least for the Labor Day weekend, and or for CASCAR going back to the CASCAR days potentially. I don't know. Someone can correct us if we're wrong on that. Please, if we're wrong.
Don't know.
Somebody
will correct us.
Either way, if memory serves me correctly, though, I can't think. So that was something there. And two-time champ LP Dumoulin, he won for the first time this season, and LP took the lead from Gary Clute, who had the pole position, and he from the final 10 laps and maintained the lead on restart with 6 to go. LP has won 4 times at Mosport. His last win was in 2018.
Wow.
This is also his 3rd straight top 5 this season and his 5th top 10. And he hasn't finished worse than 6th since the season opener at Sunset. He was entering this race.
Is he leading the points?
So he was entering this race 4 points behind Tags. Dumoulin now sits atop the standings at that point. So going into, obviously, just at that Saturday, we'll go into the Sunday here in a sec.
Yeah.
Marc-Antoine Cameron Mack, he finished in 2nd place. That was the 3rd time in his 11 starts at CTMP. It was his first top 5 of the season. He had a couple of bad races, the last couple races at Three Rivers and iCar. Treyton Lapsevich, he was able to get his best finish there with 3rd, with Alex Tagliani and Gary Clute rounding out the top 5. DJ Kennington, Andrew Ranger, Dexter Stacy, Brett Taylor, Matthew Scannell completed the top 10. Scannell, hope I'm saying that right. For Kevin Lacroix, he finished 24th, 20 laps down after he spun in turn 5. And he was running up in 2nd. He wasn't able to get it going, and that ended his day early. It was his 2nd DNF of the season, and he was entering this race 3rd in the standings. And with him winning at iCar, that that put him back a little bit. So everyone has a good night, though. Everyone had a great Labor Day weekend. Everyone's having a great time Saturday night going into Sunday night. Obviously, yeah, Trey had a good time too, going to Flamborough, having a podium there. I do believe it. Mac, he hasn't won in 20 races in the NASCAR Pinty Series, and that was his 2nd win for a Clarington 200. So that is also his 3rd straight top 2 finish at Bowmanville. With 5 laps in turn 5, he was able to get by Tags. Tags kind of left the door open a little bit for Mac. I remember a couple years ago at a press conference, Tags talking about leaving the door open for his competitors, and I watched him do it there. It was for his teammate, though. Yeah, he was able to pass him in Moss Corner, and eventually, and it was a good pass, textbook pass. Wasn't anything bad about it.
He did the same thing at Three Rivers this year too. Kind of left the door open to give up the lead, which I thought he had made a mistake into the corner.
I'm sure that was more of a
But it's interesting that he did it again on another road course.
Tags kept up. Tags tried to catch up to him, but he couldn't. Tags, he also led the most laps. He still got a podium.
He was losing tires?
Yes.
He drove too hard at the beginning.
I could tell. I could tell, and he would probably tell you that too. His 5th top 5 of the season, 3rd in a row at CTMP. Rookie Kyle Marcelli rounding out the podium. You know a little bit about him.
Yeah, it was funny. You and I were talking, before we started recording, and you just say this guy out of nowhere, this Kyle Marcelli, and I go, yeah, no, he races in IMSA. He was a factory Lexus driver or 3GT racing, so he's quite an accomplished road racer from the endurance side of things. So not
And he showed
unknown
it.
to me.
He was he was one of
Canadian.
the hard chargers in that race.
He's from where is he from?
There's a couple hard chargers in that race. I don't know where he's from. You might have to.
He's a good driver.
But yeah,
I think he's from Oakville.
Yeah, actually. But so there's a couple hard chargers in that race. A couple of names on top of my head. Andrew Ranger, I visibly saw him charging up there. Sam Fellows. No, obviously he knows how to drive there. Another guy there who he was just wheeling around there. Gary Clute as well, wheeling around there. So those are just because that's what I noticed. These guys were just driving, and they were putting on a great race. And so on the Saturday race, it was like a sprint. It was like a 30-lap race or whatever. Whereas the Sunday race is 51 laps, and it almost still felt like it wasn't long. It was like a sprint. So. But there was strategy being played, lots of strategy being played, and seeing those guys race up through the back. There's a few different yellows. So at one point, I believe it had this. I believe the first incident with JF LeBerge, I think it was lap 21 or something. Or sorry, it was actually Trey. Trey had issues first. So quoting Trey on our post on the NASCAR Pinty Series community page, he told us the third link broke, causing the drive shaft to come out. And I think they actually found that drive shaft back on Andretti straightaway, which caused an additional yellow flag. And they had to do a couple of extended yellows. And there's another point where JF LeBerge, he sent it, and I believe it was turn 3. And his car looks bad, and it's up on the NASCAR Pinty Series community page. If anyone wants to see it, we posted it there as the Wide World of Motorsports. We reported as best as we could for that race, but he smashed in the front end of his car, like he sent that, like he must have sent that car or something. It looked pretty bad, and it was good to see that window, the safety net come down for JF Jean-Francois. It's good to see you safe come out of there, my man. If he's going to listen to this, because it must have been a hard lick. So, so there was actually a couple of in quotes extended yellows during that race. I want to note Trayton Lapsevich. He proved this past weekend he was a dedicated young driver. He finished third at Mosport Saturday. Drives to Flamborough for his late model race. And then back to Mosport for Sunday, where he finished 21st. Where, they try to keep going. They tried their best at that drive shaft issue, but not much you can do there. Tags extends his championship points lead by 8 points over Lacroix, who passed LP Dumoulin for second, and that's because LP finished 11th. He didn't finish very good, and with Tags, being so dominant in that race, and with him having that podium finish.
Who do you have in second place for the Pinty Series standings?
So this is off of the NASCAR Pinty Series website, and he's Tagliani. He extends his points lead by 8 points over Lacroix, who passed LP Dumoulin for second.
Oh, because I have LP.
Good. If you have some.
I have LP in second and Kevin Lacroix.
Maybe that's just the way I worded it there.
And third.
Or it was worded.
And LP is 8 points back of Tag at 240. He's sitting at 240.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So the weather ended up being good. It ended up being a good race. I thought it was from flag to flag. It was good. Props to NASCAR Pinty Series for putting that together, and the TSN team for their work this past weekend. It was very entertaining to watch. So make sure y'all check that out once that uploads. And the next race, Flamborough Speedway. If you find yourself in southwestern Ontario, why not head down over to Flamborough over there for the second to last race of the season. So there apparently I'm just trying to figure it out because Chaudière was postponed. So are these the last races, or I'm assuming Chaudière would be the last races whenever they reschedule those, and that might be late September, early October. I'm guessing. That's speculating. That's not official. If y'all know something, please let us know, because that's all I know. I should actually ask and find out. Nonetheless, though, Sunday, September 12th, get yourself some racing in back-to-back races at 6 and 8 for a couple of for Motomaster Batteries 125 and Quick Wick 125. So that will be happening this weekend. We get some good stuff to watch. Be exciting to watch on TSN.ca or TSN Go. That's where I'll be watching it, folks. You can follow all the updates for that on our page at the WWOMS. We always try to do as much Pinties as we can. Moving on here.
Yeah. What's next? What do you have next on the docket? Shuffle your papers. That's one of my.
So let's just talk about Denny here. We'll focus on Denny.
Part?
So sorry folks. This whole weekend I got some, in quotes, muscle spasms. But anyway, so Denny Hamlin this past weekend, he had quite the weekend. He had actually quite the week. We're not TMZ. Oh, I gotta clear my throat. Am I dying? But yeah, so Denny, man, he had quite the week. We're not TMZ. We're not a tabloid. But yeah, so on Twitter, Denny's wife made some tweets. There were tweets that, let's say, if you're of the married type, you probably wouldn't be happy to see these tweets. Going into this weekend, as an athlete, I wonder how his mindset was going, but I'm not an athlete. As him being an athlete, I wonder what his mind was. I worded that terribly. But yeah, going into Saturday, there was also a truck. Totally forgot about that truck race on Sunday. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
But that slipped my mind.
I was out of town.
Yeah, we were vacating, or you were vacating. But yeah, so Denny, he had quite the race. He was the favorite for the Xfinity race. He was going to try to get some extra practice on that new pavement or the new surface there, whatever they did in turn 2. But yeah, so even though Noah Gragson won that race, Denny Hamlin, he was sent to the rear at one point during the race under a penalty for equipment violation during a pit stop under caution on lap 139. Gragson grabbed the lead from Daniel Hemrick on lap 143, and he was able to keep it the rest of the way. Gragson's victory in the Sports Clips haircuts car was his first of the season.
Wow.
And his first at Darlington, and the third win of his career overall. So
he moves on, right?
Yes, he gets on to the next stage. Yes,
right.
Which is good for I guess it's good for him and whatever few fans they have. And after debris from a Hemrick spin on lap 144, which caused the 8th caution of the afternoon and sent the race into NASCAR overtime, Gragson surged ahead on the final restart, finished just ahead of runner-up Harrison Burton by 218 seconds. Rating Series champion Austin Cindric ran third, closing to a single point in his deficit to the current series leader AJ Allmendinger, who finished 20th after putting under the caution because of a loose wheel.
Ugh.
Loose
AJ,
wheel. Got to make sure his nuts are tight.
Oh,
his nuts were tight.
Come on.
Right when things are looking so great for him too. Hamlin though, it was looking like he was gonna go for his 6th Xfinity Series victory at Darlington when Brandon Jones spun off in turn 4 on lap 138 of 147. And on that pit stop, Hamlin went down for some tires. His crew was penalized for whatever folks like to pronounce it that way, for bringing equipment over the wall too soon, screwing his chances over. And after his rough week, it was like, oh man, this guy, I felt bad. People were feeling bad for him. It was his first Xfinity start of the season, and he actually overcame some early trouble as he spun out of the top spot on the final lap of stage 1 while trying to work around a slower car of Carson Ware. And that gave the opening stage win to Hemrick. But yeah, Gregson taking that win, good for him, being able to advance. I guess if you think about it, he wouldn't have been able to advance, right? Automatically advance if Hamlin won. So I thought Cup guys weren't supposed to race in the playoffs. Interesting how that works. Huh. I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah, I don't know. They changed the rules a lot for that.
Or something. Sheldon Creed, so on the Sunday there was a couple of back-to-back races. Sheldon Creed won that one. He advances into the next series. Race is pretty
series champ.
Yep, and he's been performing well in the playoffs, and good for them. And then going into the Cup race, Denny Hamlin. Questions was what was going to happen there, but ultimately he was able to hold off Kyle Larson, and quite the battle there. As Kyle Larson said, he tried to, in quotes, video game it, and in quotes, he gave it all the best he could at that last lap there, and it was quite the battle. It would have been interesting to see if Larson took both of them out.
That would have been funny.
But yeah,
I feel like Larson pushed so hard, and
yeah, he ran his stuff out.
No, I think he could have passed Denny when he hit him, and I think he just, because he made a mistake, I think he just let Denny, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't want to beat him that way. That's what it looks like to me. Is he just drives it in, and if it's gonna hold and stick and he can get him, great. And then it's like it washed up, hit the wall, hit Denny, and kind of like he just kept hitting, just stayed behind. They didn't try to get off him, but maybe, I guess he was sucked into the wall. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just feel like I just get that feeling from the way that looked, that he just made a mistake and was like, I'm just gonna stay here.
Well, he definitely tried. Hamlin,
he did
his first win of the season. He entered the week seated 7th in the 16-driver postseason field, and he was keeping it strong all throughout the race. There was tons of playoff implications with tons of big time drivers. It's almost like there was enough bad luck for all these drivers that it might not. I wonder what difference it will make, because almost like every 16 of the drivers almost had bad luck at the end of this race. Mm-hmm. But Hamlin, after having such a kind of a tough week, I was kind of, he had a great race too. He and he drove it good. He won it good, and just happy for a dude. Some of the specifics behind his.
How do you think FedEx feels?
Well,
because he won. He
win races. You got to keep him happy,
Yeah, but he won with OfferPad, not with FedEx, right? So they've been right today. I'm just curious how they feel about that. I wonder. Here, I got like a conspiracy note. I wonder who's going to sponsor Kurt next year. Is it Monster? Is it Monster? Yeah. I wonder who's on Bubba. Who's Bubba's primary?
He's had a couple, but I think so far it's just been DoorDash and
that's right. And
he's had a couple Cokes. He's got a couple Dr. Peppers. He's had a couple
two different companies.
McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's.
Yeah, that is interesting about the Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper thing. But yeah,
especially
he's
with McDonald's, because McDonald's is a massive Coke.
Right,
brand
but sometimes they
maybe
could have Doctor. Yeah, I don't know, but that's a different. But that's a different podcast. But yeah, so him, like,
I wonder if do you think FedEx is getting tired of running with Denny, or how long does he have with them?
Are they fed up? No, I don't know. I don't. In my opinion, I don't think they would have any issues with.
Do you think they'll be with him till he retires?
I don't know.
Like DuPont was with Jeff.
It's like, who knows, right? Because that's like with Jimmy and Los. Like, people probably talked about that, and
Well, it seems like as soon as they lose that massive primary sponsor that's
That might
been
be
with
it.
them for their whole career. That's like the end of their career. So like think of Gordon and DuPont, right? He was still with DuPont, but it was more Exalta by the end, right? And then look at Jimmy. It was Tool. It was Lowe's, Cobalt, and then Ally.
Yeah, but for all we know, Denny's signed with FedEx for like 8 years. You know what I mean? So
No,
we're
but
just
if you-
speculating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you like I don't know. You just see that with big names. The only person that I know that I would say is really not.
Oh, expired at the end of the 2020 season. That's as of the beginning of the year.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like Kyle, right? M&M's is going to be with Kyle for a long time, but as soon as it's not M&M's, I bet you he retires.
That's a big. Yeah, that's a big.
I think that's a big. I think that's
tinfoil.
I think it's a trend. I think it's a trend.
Oh, it could happen. Yeah, I never think
Anyway,
about that.
I don't know.
That's like something that you never think. Like that's crazy though. Like
See, and I find it interesting.
We'll
to
see
look
what
at the
happens.
sponsors. I love seeing who sponsors a car. Like if it's not a driver's
I wonder-
primary, if it's a driver's secondary that's primary, or just something that everything's always on the car.
I wonder
So then
if FedEx will go to 2311.
Well, that's what I was.
We'll see.
wondering.
We'll see. Like that's interesting. Silly season's already like
How long is
underway,
Denny
but-
signed to Gibbs for?
he actually just extended this year for 3 years, I think, or something like that.
Because he wants to see if 2311 will do it, and then he's gonna leave Gibbs and go race at 2311 and try to pull a Tony Stewart, Alan Kawicki.
Some
You heard it
interesting
here.
theories, man.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, yeah.
So in
Hey,
3
you know what?
years,
Good
when
shot
this
though.
happened,
Shoot your shot.
I don't know.
We can soundbite that, and that'll be predicting
Wouldn't
the
that be
future. Like, whoa, man.
No,
Um,
that guy was right. That
yeah.
idiot from Canada was right.
It was a good weekend for racing, and happy for everybody this past weekend, I guess. We're
Yes.
all punky dory here at the WOMs this week, I guess, wrapping this one up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, you know what? It was a good one. We'll leave it on that. Make sure you check us out on social media at the WWOMS. You can also say, hey, Siri, Alexa, pull us up on. Say, hey, I want the Wide World of Motorsports TV up on my TV now, or else. Threaten your iDevice.
That's how I do it.
Also on the Wide World of Motorsports podcast.wordpress.com. So that's good stuff. You can check out our past future episodes there, as well as our esports team and whatever else we're doing. So
Racing tomorrow night, Mayhem Racing
right.
Week, Mazda's. You don't have the track, New Hampshire Road Course.
that already would have happened by the time this is. No, maybe not. That might be tonight by the time this is posted. We'll see. But that's it. That's just the facts, folks. We'll see you down the bend.
Bye.
Hi, this is Alex Tagliani, NASCAR Pinty Series driver. You're tuned in from the track to the community on Wide World of Motorsports, the #1 motorsport show in the community.